Okay, so yesterday you were supposed to complete slides 6 through 9. So again, slide 6 was the puzzle. You had to put that together and you had to insert your time here. Now, the next slide went over the evidence that Alfred Wegener used to support his theory of continental drift. All right, so again, he noticed when he looked at a map that the continents of Africa and South America, when you bring them together, they match up and they fit together like a puzzle. He also noticed that with the continents of North America and Europe, finding fossils in places they shouldn't be. The example what we went over in an earlier slide was the Mesosaurus. Mesosaurus, the fossil being found in South America and Africa. How is that possible? When it's divided by a large ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the reptile couldn't swim across. So the only logical explanation is that they were once connected together. This is shown in the plant fossils also. The Glossopteris, that tropical plant that they found fossilized in Antarctica. Antarctica being a very, very cold climate, no possible way plants can grow there, especially a tropical plant. Only logical explanation that the continent of Antarctica had to be in a different position in the past, in a place that would be a warmer climate. Then they looked at landforms. So when you bring North America together with Europe, you notice that the mountain chains line up pretty well. And then the last piece of evidence he looked at was glaciers, and what they found is these deep scratches in rocks in Africa, and the only thing that could create those deep scratches would be a glacier. So a glacier, you got to remember, is a piece of ice. It's over a mile thick. So as that's sliding across the ground, that's when it's making those deep scratches. Then you had another puzzle to put together, and you had the symbols here to help you assemble this. You were supposed to record your time, and you're describing the differences between the two puzzles. Was it easier to do this one? Was it more difficult? Explain. So that brings us to the last thing you're required to do, and you were required to list the 4 pieces of evidence used by Alfred Wegener, and again, that could have been found on slide 7. All right, so the rest of the assignment. So now your job is to complete 10 through 14, which 14 is the last slide. And you're going to, this is going to be due, I know I posted on Google Classroom due on Wednesday, I'm going to make it due on Thursday. All right, so let's go over what you're required to do today. So you have to match these up, move these over to the appropriate column. So the first column, Alfred Wegener's evidence of continental drift, you would put all that apply there. Not Alfred Wegener's evidence of continental drift would go in this column. On to the next slide. So what you're doing here is you're drawing a picture to represent each of Wegener's 4 pieces of evidence used to support his theory. So if you go to the next slide, it's going to explain to you how to insert the picture in here. So the next slide is just an informational slide. So these are several ways to get your images in the pages. You can draw on your own paper, take a picture, and upload the picture, which might be easier for most of you, so that is highly recommended. Or you can draw with some sort of app. You can draw some sort of app, Paint, or other graphics app, draw your image, then either take a screenshot or picture of your image. Next, you're going to go back to slide 11. You're going to go to the insert menu on the upper left-hand corner, which is up here where you see my mouse now, and choose pictures. So you click down, and you would go to insert image, and then from camera or photos, or even if you stored it on your computer, upload from the computer. All right, so on to the next slide. Easy 3 multiple choice questions. Just make sure you put your answers over here on the left. As you can see, numbers 1, 2, 3. And that brings us to our last slide right here. Again, you're just filling in the blanks. There's the word bank. Write your answers here. All right. Again, if you have any questions on the rest of the assignment, please feel free to email me. Projects, again, don't forget, are due tomorrow, Wednesday, October 28th. If you have any questions about that, also feel free to email me.